Hey everyone, and welcome back to TTS Today Classroom. If you've recently downloaded an Excel file with macros from the internet or an email attachment from our quotation module, you've probably run into this new security risk message from Microsoft. There's no easy enable content button anymore, and it can be a real roadblock if you need those macros for legitimate work. This is due to a security feature called Mark of the Web. It's Microsoft's solution to protect us from dangerous macro-based malware, and it blocks macros by default in files from untrusted sources. But what if you trust the file? What if it's a critical tool for your workflow? In this video, we're going to show you the practical steps you can take to unblock your legitimate macros. Here we have an example of a macro-enabled workbook, and all our sales analysis maps workbooks use macros, and a lot of our quotation emails will use a macro enabled workbook unless you disable that with the checkbox that we give you that option. So basically what's happening is a macro is just a program that's running in the background to do some kind of task. So for example, here's a file that I created with a macro button, and right now it's not going to work because enable editing is showing up on the toolbar. So before Microsoft made these changes, we were able to click enable editing and everything was fine. But look what happens when I click it now. What happens is you have a security risk. So Microsoft has blocked macros from running because the source of this file is untrusted. When I click learn more, it'll just bring me to a website that'll give me information on this. Doesn't tell me how to disable this, and that's what we're going to do in this video. But you can X this out. You could try to click it, and it's going to say macros are disabled. So what we first need to do is go into our file, and this is under the same Excel workbook that we had this error. We could do this right away. So go into File, go into Options, and at the bottom we have Trust Center, and then in the center, Trust Center Settings. Now there's a couple of settings we want to change, and you only need to do this once. Once this is set up, every time you download a file from us or the internet or whatever, it will automatically go to, for instance, a download folder. So we're going to enable a trusted location first. Let's do that. Trusted locations. And right now, these are the default ones. We're going to add downloads. All of our files, PDFs, macros, workbooks, anything that we download from TOE and TTS go into the downloads folder by default. Now that's a setting within Chrome. So that's what we're going to do is we're just going to set up the download folder as a trusted location to kind of bypass this message and avoid having this problem in the future. So we can go to add new location. In this case, I'm going to browse for my download folder. Now, it's going to be different for everybody based on the naming, but I'll show you the general area you're going to go to look. So we hit Browse. I'm going to look for my C drive, and I'm going to go to Users. And Users will have your name. So whatever name that you use to sign in, mine is Steve. And then one more time, I'm going to find downloads. That's the easiest way to find downloads. It's not always as apparent as just going up here and looking for downloads. Go to here, this is exactly where the downloads folder is. So click on downloads, hit OK. And subfolders if you want. What this allows it to do, if you have subfolders and downloads that you save files in, you can do that. So I'll check that and hit OK. It'll add it up here. And now we have all those, anything that goes into the downloads folder is considered a trusted location and should avoid this message. Two other areas we want to do to just make sure that everything gets through. So ActiveX settings. So right now it's prompting, and that's what that message pop-up is. And I'm going to enable all content, and I'm going to enable safe mode. Last setting, macros. Right now it's disabled with notification. Again, that's what that pop-up is. We want to enable this. We want to enable Excel 4.0 macros, and we want to trust access to VBA object mode. Click OK. Click OK. And right now, nothing is working here. Okay, we still have that error, so I have to X out of here. So we go to Excel. We go to File. We open. And notice no pop-up. Now I can execute the macro by clicking on this button, for instance. And there you have it. That is the way to enable macros to run because of this new Microsoft Security. Now, one thing to note, or a couple things to note, is Microsoft is constantly updating the software. So you may have to run this down the line another time. So it could last 3, 4, 5 months, 3, 4, 5 weeks to whenever they put out an update. Sometimes they put out these updates and it converts back to the default settings for the security. Watch the video again and just go through those steps and you should be fine. Note, be very cautious of things that you download. So everything from our site is considered trusted. So it's fine to click on that. But certain things on the web are not. So just be careful and mindful of any attachments and emails specifically that may come through that you're not sure of. And if that's the case, check the source first. So thanks again for watching our new TTS Today classroom video. And any questions that you have that we can answer in a video format, or you can send an email to askttstoday@tradetechsolutions.com. And we'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.